Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our February program of the Birmingham Musicale. I just want to let you know that our next performance program will be March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, and it will be Exuberant Jubilant Brahms, members of the Detroit Medical Orchestra and Spectrum Orchestra, and it will be at the University Presbyterian Church. And then our April program will again take place here on April 11th, and that will be the winners of our Birmingham Musicale Awards and the Birmingham Musicale Choral Ensemble. We have brochures like this which detail all of our programs and tell you a little bit about our organization. And on the back, there's even a form. We're always looking for new members to come and help. You don't have to perform. You can help by doing other things, music outreach, doing the teas, doing printing programs, things like that. We can always use the help, and it's a wonderful group of people to work with, so you would really enjoy it. So if you have any questions, please speak to one of us afterwards. Our chairman of the day is Sandra McNeely, and she will speak to you about a little bit more about our program today. Thank you.
Thank you, President B. This is my first time as being chairman. I'm happy to see all of you here today. Thank you for coming. Today's program is with A Song in My Heart. It's featuring the songs of Richard Rogers and Lorenz Hart. Our performers are the talented Birmingham Musicale Musical Production Ensemble. Unfortunately, though, one of our singers, Bonnie Brooks, is unable to be here today. She's unwell. And I know you join me in wishing her a speedy recovery. So without further ado, let me introduce our cast of singers by giving you a little information about them. Mike Dundas has a degree in vocal music and education from Western Michigan University. He taught a variety of subjects and grades, mostly in Lincoln Park Public Schools, and has been baritone soloist and occasional choir director, as well as playing a number of lead roles in college and community theater. He lets his wife drag him into musical production on a fairly regular basis. And there's Pam Dundas. His wife, she's a retired English teacher who has hung around music for most of her life. She has sung in high school, college, community, and church choirs, and has been useful for the reach of her lower range. Occasionally, she sings the same notes as her baritone husband. Rebecca Engelhardt is a mezzo-soprano with a degree in vocal music performance from Wayne State University. Her performances include the Detroit Symphony Orchestra, Michigan Opera Theater, Great Lakes Lyric Opera, Opera MODO, Pittsfield Opera Theater, and Shrine of the Little Flower, and venues throughout the United States and Europe. Chris Held gets dragged into musical productions by Pam Dundas, almost as much as Mike. She has sung in church and community choruses, and she has had lead roles in such musicals as The King and I, Oliver, The Music Man, Guys and Dolls, and Anything Goes. She recently had a duet with her adult daughter at a Troy Community Chorus performance. Erin Inbody is the accompanist for the Musicale Choral Ensemble. For some local high school choirs and a number of solo and ensemble performances, and she says that she has been having fun with the challenge of collaborating with musical production, songs, and singers. Erin studied piano at Spring Arbor College. She resides in the Novi area. Kay Rittinger holds degrees in music and education from Oakland University and Wayne State University. She has sung with the Verdi and Puccini Opera Company, the Michigan Opera Theater, and the Detroit Symphony Chorale. She also has past and present experience as a soloist for Royal Oak Christian Service Church, Lutheran Church of the Redeemer, right here, and Birmingham Unitarian Church. She has served as president of the Birmingham Musicale and is currently president of the Northwest District of the Michigan Federation of Music Clubs. Beatrice Wassenberg, currently the president of the Birmingham Musicale, is also a past Michigan Federation of Music Clubs state president and currently the MFMC Awards chair. She resides in Algonac and is the director of music at Our Lady on the River Parish in Marine City. Beatrice received her bachelor's in vocal music education from Oakland University and runs a small studio from home. Thank you and enjoy the show. And afterwards, join us for coffee and desserts, cookies, snacks in the lobby. Thank you.
So it may seem just a trifle out of character for a musical organization to honor the lyricist rather than the composer. But because his name is Lawrence Hart, and this is the least of which, that's his last name, and this is the month for hearts and Valentines and things like that. So hence the title of this. And Lawrence Hart wrote lyrics that overwhelmingly dealt with love in one form or another. He was born in New York City in 1895 to German immigrant parents. He attended the Columbia School of Journalism and coincidentally, Oscar Hammerstein was one of his co-students. He also worked for the Schubert brothers, using his knowledge of German to translate German plays and songs into English. In 1919, Hart was introduced to a young Richard Rodgers. They began collaborating on amateur musicals and performed for charity benefits. From 1920 to 1930, the team of Rodgers and Hart wrote a wide variety of musicals for both Broadway and the West End Theatre in London. There were 26 musicals over a 20-year collaboration. In 1927, Rodgers and Hart wrote a musical version of Mark Twain's short story, A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. It was a significant Broadway success. The song was this duet between the knight Sir Martin and his lady love, Lady Sandy.
Babe, we are well met, as in a spell met. I lift my helmet, Sandy, you're just dandy, for just this here lad. You are a fistful, my eyes are mistful. Are you too wistful to care, to see, to care, to come near, lad? You are so graceful, have you wings? You have a face full of nice things. You have no speaking voice, dear, with every word it sings. Thou swell, thou witty, thou sweet, thou grand, wouldst kiss me pretty, wouldst hold my hand. Both thine eyes are cute to what they do to me.
Hear me holla, I choose a sweet lollapalooza in thee.
I feel so rich, A hut for two.
2 rooms and kitchen, I'm sure would do.
Give me just a plot of
Not a lot of land. And
thou swell, thou witty, thou grand.
thy words are queer, sir, unto my ear, sir, yet thou art dear, sir, to me. Thou couldst woo me if thou would try, knight. I murmur swell to, and like it well to, more thou could tell to Sandy. Thou art dandy, now art thou my knight. Thy arms are martial, thou hast grace. My cheek is partial to thy face, and if thy lips grow weary, mine are their resting place.
Thou swell, thou witty, thou sweet,
Thou grand,
wouldst kiss me pretty,
wouldst hold my hand.
both thine eyes are cute to what they do to me.
Hear me holler, I choose a sweet lollapalooza in thee.
I feel so rich, a hut for two.
2 rooms and kitchen, I'm sure would do.
Give me just a plot of
Not a lot of land. And
thou swell, thou witty, thou grand.
in 1932, Rajan Hart wrote a musical movie called Love Me Tonight, starring Maurice Chevalier as a talented tailor who falls in love with Princess Jeanette, played by Jeanette MacDonald. Against all odds, he tells her, star-crossed lover. She defies her father. And I messed this up. I'm sorry. I have to back up. Love was a familiar theme to Hart's lyrics, and love never seemed to go easily. In the musical Spring is Here, the star-crossed lover Betty defies her father and expresses her love at first sight devotion. Okay, you've heard this twice, so you don't need to hear it again. It's from the musical Love Me Tonight, and it's a song by Jeanette MacDonald and Nelson Eddy. And because Bonnie is unwell today, our accompanist, Aaron, has very graciously agreed to play it as an instrumental. In 1934, Rodgers and Hart were commissioned to write for a Hollywood movie called Hollywood Party. One of the songs was supposed to be sung by Jean Harlow, but she was not much of a singer. They changed the words, the song was, lyrics were written and rewritten, and it was done a number of times, but it was never used in that movie. But it is actually one of the most popular songs that Rodgers and Hart have written, and it has been recorded by many artists and many groups ever since.
Once upon a time, before I took up smiling, I hated the moonlight. Shadows of the night that poets found beguiling seemed flat as the noonlight. With no one to stay up for, I went to sleep at 10. Life was a bitter cup for the saddest of all men. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me saying a prayer somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you knew just what I was there for. You heard me sing a prayer for someone I really could care for. And then there suddenly appeared before me the only one my arms could ever hold. I heard somebody whisper, please adore me. And when I looked, the moon had turned to gold. Blue moon, now I'm no longer alone, without a dream in my heart, without a love of my own.
One of Rodgers and Hart's significant Broadway successes was Babe in Arms, from which this curious take on love song was very endearing, but maybe a little less than complimentary. slightly more traditional outlook on life, on love, came from the extremely successful Babes in Arms. It was this song explaining how the hero could fall in love with the heroine after only their first meeting.
When you're awake, the things you think come from the dreams you dreamed. Thoughts have wings and lots of things are seldom what they seem. Sometimes you think you've lived before all that you've lived today. Things you do come back to you as though they knew the way. Oh, the tricks your mind can play. It seems we've stood and talked like this before. We looked at each other in the same way then, but I can't remember where or when. The clothes you're wearing are the clothes you wore. The smile you were smiling then, but I can't remember where or when. Some things that happened for the first time seem to be happening again. And so it seems that we have met before and laughed before and loved before, but who knows where or when? It seems we've stood and talked like this before. We looked at each other in the same way then, but I can't remember where or when. The clothes you're wearing are the clothes you wore. The smile you were smiling then, but I can't remember where or when. Some things that happened for the first time seem to be happening again. And so it seems that we have met before and laughed before and loved before, but who knows where or when?
Also, from Babes in Arms, is this complete send-up of all the fake high society snobs that evidently Hart was encountering in his daily life. His personal success was allowing him to give rather lavish parties, and they exposed him to some of these snobs. This song happens in the story when the heroine is about to take off across the country against all conventional wisdom and live life on her own terms.
I've wined and dined on mulligan stew and never wished for turkey as I hitch crashed and hiked and drifted too, from Maine to Albuquerque. Alas, I missed the Beaux-Arts ball, and what is twice as sad, I was never at a party where they honored Noel Cat. But social circles spin too fast for me. My Bohemia is the place to be. I get too hungry for dinner at 8. I like the theater, but never come late. I never bother with people I hate. That's why the lady's a tramp. I don't like crap games with barons and elves. Won't go to Harlem in ermine and pearls. Won't dish the dirt with the rest of the girls. That's why the lady's a tramp. I like the free, fresh wind in my hair, life without care. I'm broke, it's oak. Hate California, it's cold and it's damp. That's why the lady is a tramp. I go to Coney, the beach is divine. I go to ball games, the bleachers are fine. I follow Winchell and read every line. That's why the lady's a tramp. I like a prize fight that isn't a fake. I love the rowing at Central Park Lake. I go to opera and stay wide awake. That's why the lady's a tramp. I like the green grass under my shoes. What can I lose? I'm flat, that's that. I'm all alone when I lower my lamp. That's why the ladies are tramp.
In 1938, The Boys from Syracuse was a Rodgers and Hart musical adaptation of Shakespeare's A Comedy of Errors. Hart expressed yet another cynical view of romantic love that was becoming more and more typical of his lyrical style.
Fall
to see. I fell in love with love everlasting. But love fell out with me.
Hart wasn't always cynical, though. Also in this same show was the lyric about a woman still in love with her man, even though she was confused by the twin, who wasn't really her husband, but was actually a visitor from another town. That's why they called it the Comedy of Errors. And this is another one of the songs that Aaron is very kindly going to play as an instrumental. In 1940, Rodgers and Hart wrote the music for Pal Joey, which is the story of a rather unsympathetic but rather charming nightclub performer. And it was based on John O'Hara's short stories. The typical attitude toward love shows up how confusing he thought the emotion could be.
He's a fool and don't I know it, but a fool can have his charms. I'm in love and don't I show it, like a baby in arms. Love's the same old sad sensation. Lately I've not slept a wink since this half-pint imitation put me on child again, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered am I. Couldn't sleep and wouldn't sleep when love came and told me I shouldn't sleep. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered am I. Lost my heart, but what of it? He's cold, I agree. He can laugh, but I love it, although the laugh's on me. I'll sing to him each spring to him, and long for the day when I'll cling to him. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered am I'm wild again, beguiled again, a simpering, whimpering child again, bewitched, bothered, and bewildered am I. Couldn't sleep and wouldn't sleep when love came and told me I shouldn't sleep. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered am I. Lost my heart, but what of it? He's cold, I agree. He can laugh, but I love it, although the laugh's on me. I'll sing to him each spring to him, and long for the day when I'll cling to him. Bewitched, bothered, and bewildered am I.
There were many critics who noted Hart's attitude toward love, but also noted how often his lyrics told a complete story. In fact, he was sometimes called a playwright rather than a lyricist. In this song, from the musical Too Many Girls, he shows both talents and a more traditional outlook on love.
Once I was young, yesterday perhaps, laughed with Jim and Tom and kissed some other chaps. Once I was young, never was naive. I thought I had a trick or two up my imaginary sleeve. And now I know I was naive. I didn't know what time it was then I met you.
Hart became so depressed and so unreliable due to the death of his mother and his increasing alcoholism that Rogers took him off of a 1942 project to write a musical version of a play called Green Grow the Lilacs. He asked Oscar Hammerstein to step in. The play was later rewritten as Oklahoma. Hart recovered a little bit in 1943 to work with Rogers on a revision of their earlier Connecticut Yankee and ordered a new song that we hope doesn't reflect Hart's final view of the emotion we recognize in almost all of his beloved lyrics.
I've been married and married, and often I've sighed. I'm never the bridesmaid, I'm always the bride. I never divorced them, I hadn't the heart. But remember those sweet words, till death do us part. I married many men, a ton of them, and yet I was untrue to none of them, because I bumped off every one of them to keep my love alive. Sir Paul was frail, he looked a wreck to me. At night he was a horse's neck to me, so I performed an appendectomy to keep my love alive. Sir Thomas had insomnia, he couldn't sleep at night. I bought a little arsenic, he's sleeping now all right. Sir Philip played the harp, I cussed the thing. I ground him with his harp to bust the thing. And now he plays where harps are just the thing to keep my love alive. I thought Sir Charles had possibilities, but his flirtations made me ill at ease. And when he's ill at ease, I kill at ease to keep my love alive. Sir George came from a sanatorium and yelled for drinks in my emporium. I mixed one drink, he's in memoriam, to keep my love alive. Sir Francis was a singing bird, a nightingale, that's why I pushed him off my balcony to see if he could fly. Sir Athelstane indulged in fratricide. He killed his dad, and that was patricide. One night I stabbed him by my mattress side to keep my love alive, to keep my love alive.